I'm fixing corn today to put in the freezer. So I'm going to show you how to do that if you don't know how. First, you shuck it and you silk it, and then you take all the little tips off from your corn cobs. And then if there are any spots on it that are, you know, less than pretty, you want to cut those off. There's some dried kernels here we're going to cut off. And then you take all your prettiest corn cobs and you set those aside. We're going to process those to freeze whole. And then the other, we're going to make cutoff corn. Both of them are very easy. It's a little time consuming, but you can do this. So first, go ahead and cut all the tips off, and then we'll get ready to do our boiling water parboil for the corn cobs. So you make sure you have enough water in here to completely submerge the corn. They have a tendency to float to the top. So as they're cooking, every now and again, just rotate the cobs around so they all get done at the same time. You don't have some on top that are raw and some on the bottom that are overly cooked. Just kind of rotate them around with a pair of tongs. Don't use your hands, you'll burn your hands. So you take them out and you lay them on a beach towel, somewhere cool. I do it on my tile floor because that's the coolest. It helps to cool it down quicker from the bottom and the top. And you let that cool completely. It varies on how long it takes, but you can go by and as you touch it, you can feel if it's still warm. And if there's any warmth left, you do not freeze those. Then you freeze it the way you want to after it's cooled completely, and you put it either in the freezer Ziploc bags, quart, gallon, however you want to do that, or the food saver bags. So cut-off corn is a little more labor intensive, but it is really good to eat. So put forth the effort to try this. You can do this in a number of ways. I just take a large dish pan because this is messy. The corn kernels kind of tend to fly everywhere, or maybe that's just because I'm messy. But anyway, you can do this with a knife, or my sister gave me this handy dandy little creamed corn cutter is what it's called. And so you just take your corn on the, you just take your cob and you slide it over that, and you see it creams it right off of there. Now, this does seem to be a little bit messier to me than the method that my mama taught me, which was to just use a knife. But you do a couple of passes over this and it's done. And you see it gets all, why they call it cream corn, is the sugary juices underneath the kernel. It pulls all that out. You can also take a knife, hold your corn upright, and slice down the cob. A lot of people will take a bundt pan and invert it, and you can set the corn cob right in the center and it holds it better for you so you don't cut yourself. Which is probably pretty smart. But you do that, you cut down like that, and you get the kernels off, and you see how that looks a little bit different there. So you take your knife then, and you scrape where you just cut, and you get the cream underneath the corn kernel. So here is what it looks like, the consistency of the corn after I did that both ways. So you can use a non-stick pan, you can use a cast iron skillet as long as you have it seasoned so that it will not allow things to stick. So now we're just going to take, over medium-high heat, you're going to take a little bit of water and put that in our pan. See, the sugars in the corn will cause it to stick, so you have to stir it pretty regularly. And if you're using a cast iron skillet that hasn't been seasoned to allow it to be non-stick, then you're going to have a lot of sticking on the bottom, a lot of scorching of your corn, and you don't want to lose any of this corn after all the work that you put in to cut it off. So you just put a little bit of water. You do not put any seasoning in this at this point. We're just going to par cook it just enough to get it cooked through just a little bit before we freeze it. If you freeze it completely freshly cut off, it lends a taste to the corn that you probably won't like. I don't like it. But if you cook it just a little bit, then after you pull it out of the freezer, that's when you would add your butter and your salt and your pepper and your seasonings, and then it doesn't take as long to cook because you cooked it just a little bit before you put it in the freezer. So now we're going to take our corn and fill our pan up, and by just a little bit of water. I mean, just have just a touch of water in the bottom of the pan, just enough where you can see it. You don't want it coming up the sides. You don't want a whole lot of water in it, but just a little bit will allow it to keep the corn moving around without sticking, which is what we want. So we're going to cook this, we're going to let it bubble just until the color changes. Right now it's kind of a lemony yellow color, and you're going to see it turn just a little bit darker. You'll see the kernels get just a little bit more waxy. I would say probably about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 10 if you don't have it on a higher heat. And then you just take that off. You're going to spread it on a pan. I have a stainless steel pan that I put mine on to allow it to cool a little bit quicker. I have my pan cooling right now, and then I'm going to put my corn over that pan and spread it out into a larger layer. I don't want it mounded up in a pan because that will keep the heat internally in that corn. You want a nice even thin layer, and it will cool off a lot quicker, and then you can get it in the freezer more quickly. So you see it has started bubbling just after about a minute, and you see the bottom. If you don't really keep that going, it's going to scorch, it's going to stick. So when you see that start bubbling, you stir that around, you get the bottom all scraped up. Now if it has already started to scorch and you can't get it off the bottom, mine you can, but if it has scorched and you can't scrape that up, you need to start over and get a different pan, or you're going to have some scorched bits in your corn. So just stay right with it, keep it stirred around, or put it on a lower heat setting. You still need to stir it, but if you put it on a lower heat, you won't have to stay right on top of it. So you see the difference. Before we put it in, it was a light lemony color, and you see now it has gotten a little bit thicker. Color's just a little bit darker. So we're going to take this off. We're going to pour this into my stainless steel cooled pan and spread it out, and then we'll do the second batch and let it all cool together. So you spread the corn out, thin layer, and every little bit, every like 30 minutes, walk by and stir it around so that the internal middle part of the corn gets to the outside and it all kind of cools evenly. Then when it's all completely cool, and I mean completely cool, then you can package it for the freezer. If you package it before it is completely cool, you will have a sour taste to your corn. So make sure that you have cooled it completely.